Hey.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yay. Let me
I'm good, girl.
better. Well, we aren't. We got like 30 seconds left. You got any
Okay.
questions? No questions?
No questions.
None? None at all.
I mean,
Anything
none
off
that I can
topic?
think of. Say it again.
Is there anything off topic?
Nothing off topic.
Oh,
I can't think of anything. That's how my brain goes.
all right. Hey Google, stop.
I'm sure I'll have a question in 10 minutes.
Okay.
That's how my brain works.
Hey Google, stop. Sorry. My okay, so I do want to say while we're here, I know how we both know each other, but I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, we don't have to. Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that at all. um, that's the only thing that's off topic. You can curse. Feel free to curse. Um, that's pretty much it. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. You
Okay.
said can.
You can. Yes.
Oh, okay.
My podcasts are all explicit. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, hi, Bree. How are you?
I'm good. Can't complain.
Well, what time is it in Texas right now? Are you still in Texas?
It, I am still in Texas. It's 2:01.
Okay. And is it hot? Cause it's usually the hottest.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you see the face? Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, it's pretty toasty. I plan to do this interview outside, and I
Uh-huh.
was like, nah, who you trying to impress?
Oh, you were going with the whole theme of curvy by nature.
Outdoors, outside, let the sun
Okay.
hit me. Yeah, no, the way the temperature set up.
Yeah, I'm sure. Last I checked, somebody posted it was like 101 in Dallas, and that was like a breeze for them.
Yeah, it's been like the last few days we've had high 90s, so it's felt pretty good.
Okay.
It felt pretty good.
That's good. Yeah, I that's something I don't miss at all. I love Texas for it, but I don't miss that much.
It's heat. Mm-mm.
Oh man. So Bree, so you are the founder of Curvy. So it's Curvy by nature, because that's how I say it, or is it Curvy X nature?
No, you said it correctly. Yeah, it's curvy by nature.
Do people sometimes get it mixed up and say Curvy X nature or anything?
Yes. Now I went through a little rebranding a little over a month ago, and so we put the X there as like extreme adventure, but curvy by nature. But yeah, I've been correcting folks. I've been correcting, but you did amazing.
Okay, yeah, it's Curvy by nature. That's how I saw it. I was like, okay, clearly it's not Curvy X nature. I don't know what that would mean. So tell me a little bit about yourself as well as Curvy by nature.
Yeah, so my name is Bree Williams,
Mhm.
and in addition to being the founder of Curvy by Nature, I am also a speaker, a social worker, an auntie. I'm a blessed auntie. No kids, no kids yet.
Mhm.
Um, what else about me? I'm from Punkytown, Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
I love going outdoors. This was not something that um, I always loved to do. It's a new passion that I discovered over the last few years.
Mhm.
And so I enjoy going outdoors in my city, in my town, in your town, everybody's town. I love being outside. And like I said a little earlier, I said I'm a speaker and auntie. So I have 5 nieces and nephews, and then I have about 3 or 4 bonus nieces and nephews, and I love kicking it, hanging outside with them too.
Wow.
And I guess my professional background is that of social worker. So I have the opportunity to work in adoption and work with placing kids from trauma into adoptive families. So I'm just doing a lot of things I love right now, and I'm blessed to do it. That's
That's
a little
really
bit about me.
So, what made you start Curvy by Nature? Because the last time I checked in with you, you were doing motivational speaking and teaching yoga. So, when I saw Curvy by Nature, I was like, okay, this is pretty freaking cool. So, I just wanted to know, like, how did it start?
Yes, I'll tell you. Curvy by Nature actually started as a project called the Go Project, and
Mhm.
Go stood for Go Outside, and that was strictly taken from me hearing my mama all those years of making us go outside and play and locking the door. And so I came up with the name. I'm like, I'm just gonna call it the Go Outside Project, and it was a project that I started under one of my pageant titles. So I was Miss All World Beauties Plus.
Okay.
2018 had to have a platform, this thing that I would speak about and be an advocate for the year. So I started the Go Project. And with that, I was just once a month trying to get people to come out and go hike with me. And it really grew into a passion. So after I gave up my title, gave up that crown, I kept the Go Project going. And last year, I changed it to officially become Curvy by Nature. But if I run it back even further, in
Yes.
2016, I took my very first trip to Denver, Colorado. Absolutely loved it. It
Beautiful.
was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh, so
Yeah.
pretty, so pretty. Could barely make it on the little pretend hike that me and my friends set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, there was somebody in the group that made a little comment, that made a little rude comment about just getting more big people outside and getting them outdoors and seeing them hike and how funny that would be. And I took that
Funny.
comment, yeah, bebe,
Funny. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I
Okay.
took that comment and I was like, at the moment, I
Hmm.
was like,
Yeah.
I'm tired. But fast forward some months and I
Hmm.
went out with one of my mentors at Cedar Ridge and fell in love with the outdoors. And I said, you know what, you're right. Let me encourage other people that look like me to come outside.
Yep.
So
And guys, she's talking about Cedar Ridge Preserve now. That is one of my favorite places in Dallas to go. For about, I would say, a year or more, a friend of mine, Ari and Gio, we would go every single Saturday morning. Didn't matter the heat, if it was 100 degrees outside, we were there. That was, now we used to go to Waffle House afterwards and just completely get
hey,
rid of what we
hey,
did, but we got the mental and spiritual clarity, and that place is
yeah.
just, it's such a gem, such a gem.
Yes, yes, yes. And
So
so yeah, it started with hiking and now I get to incorporate the yoga piece into it.
nice. So are you going to do more than just hiking? Have you thought about like kayaking or anything like that?
You know, mm, the kayaking, I put it on the list. I put it on the list because I'm challenging myself to also do things that I'm afraid of doing.
Mm-hmm.
And anything with water, I'm a little fearful, but I'm pushing myself. I'm pushing. And
Okay.
I'm going to push and get those swim lessons so that if I fall off, I'll be okay. But in addition to the hiking,
Mm-hmm.
there's yoga outdoors. So in my Curvy by Nature group, I host some free yoga sessions and it's me leading from outside. I've been able to host a few pop-up like yoga sessions, but with the virus, it kind of shuts some things,
It's a
slowed some
little
things
difficult.
down.
Yeah.
But it'll be the hiking, the walking, yoga in the outdoors, and then coming in a few months, you'll also see Curvy by Nature with
Mm-hmm.
ATV trips, horseback riding, trail rides, all things outdoors, and then thinking about things that we can do that doesn't involve the abled body. We're
Mm-hmm.
also going to add things like stargazing, bird watching, creating your own bird feeders, community gardening. So the vision for Curvy by Nature is far and wide reaching,
Mm-hmm.
and there are more things to come in addition to the hikes.
That's so exciting. Especially I didn't even think about bird walking, not walking, bird watching or horseback riding or any of those things. Usually when you think of outdoor activity, you think of people like climbing up mountains, people hiking, running, or I don't know, fishing with their hands or something like that. So I wanted to ask you, so why do you think that there's no like body diversity in outdoor activity?
Yeah, I think there's it's slow moving. because there are some different groups. There's like fat girls hiking, unlikely hikers. I absolutely love Girl Trek, of course, because it's all about getting healthy, getting Black women and girls outdoors and walking and healthy. But when I think about that body diversity piece, I think it's still an area where our society has a love affair with size, and quite often we focus on what bodies can't do, versus, okay, what can I do right now? And I think just when I think about other industries, I'm a pageant girl. So even being a plus size pageant queen, that was something that 15 years ago wasn't very heard of.
Yeah.
But now it is. And so I think that we're not seeing it simply because there are folks that the world doesn't like fat people, or bigger people. And I just think that prejudice that has existed in other industries, it's in the outdoor industry also. But the why behind it, other than just folks never really, being fat is something that it's still okay to it's still okay to make fat jokes. It's still okay to make fat be the punchline. There's not really too many people that jump down other folks' throats when there's something wrong said about a body.
Yeah.
Versus another something, another label we could put on a group. So I don't know if I answered my why. I think there's a lot of why I think that I haven't seen the diversity. I think it's happening now. We haven't seen it on a large enough scale, I believe. Yeah. But since I started this outdoor journey, like I went ziplining a few weeks ago, would have never done that last year. Would have never done that. Even a few weeks ago, I wasn't sure I could do it because there's a weight limit. And quite honestly, there's a weight limit and size limit on a lot of equipment and a lot of recreational
activities,
tools, all of that equipment. Yeah, there's a lot of that. And so I'll keep rambling, look. But I think that I'm seeing it now. So now that I'm looking for those people and I'm looking for influencers and organizations, I'm seeing more diverse bodies out there. And it's even, like I said earlier, it's pushing me to think about the way I diversify the outdoors and what does body positive mean to me. I'm a plus size woman. I'm also an able-bodied woman. And so what are some activities that I could do so that I can welcome other bodies and different bodies into the space?
So what does body positivity mean to you? Because everyone has a different, I guess you can say, definition. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, for me, it body positive means that you're welcoming, loving, and you're confident in the body that you have, and being grateful for the body that you have. And I think it gets kind of twisted when it's so hard to say that being grateful for the body. For me, I'm grateful for the body that I have. I appreciate the body I have. I'm confident in the body that I have to do certain things right now.
Yeah.
However, I want to see my body do different things. I do. I want to see my body look a little different.
Yeah.
That's part of my goals. I'm still body positive. I'm still welcoming this body and other bodies that might look like mine or might look different. And so for me, that's what body positive is. I just think we get so hung up on body positive means I don't ever want to change anything that's going on right now. And if I say I want to change something, that means I don't really like myself.
Yeah. And that's another thing that I've had many discussions with people in my life about it. It's not body positive if I want to make a change in my body, because right now, I'm nobody's twig. I'm not. But I don't want to be anybody's twig. But to me, I just want to be comfortable and happy in my body. And I know what that change means. And it doesn't mean that, to me, it doesn't mean that I'm not body positive and I don't see the positivity in all bodies. It doesn't mean that I have something bad to say. It's just that I believe in being positive about the body that I'm in, and accepting the bodies that other people are in. Who cares if I accept them or not? But having nothing to think about them at all, because all bodies are beautiful. Does that make sense?
I was like, ooh, when you were speaking, I'm like, yeah, you said it so eloquently.
I didn't think so, but
You
okay.
did. You tied a bow on it, and yeah, I agree.
So, um, so I know that when I talk to people about like doing outdoor activity, I'll say, "Oh yeah, I love to go hiking. I want to go do this." They're like, "Really? Do you ever get that?"
Oh, all the time.
And what
Oh, all the time.
how do you respond to that? Because I'd be like, "Yeah, I do." That's
Well,
what.
now I smile, and I'll I'm like, and then I give them the jab. I smile first, then I hit you.
Mhm.
I will say first I decided to wear workout attire. I know that some viewers are going to see it, some viewers will not see it, but I came prepared just in case.
Yes.
Because 2 years ago when I would go out to Cedar Ridge, I wouldn't wear the sports bra top. That wouldn't happen. Because the first time I wore a sports bra out there and I was out running and doing my thing, a dude yelled out, "Ew!" as I'm like on the
What?
same track as you, same thing as you. I've had people come up to me like, or if I've stopped because hiking is a beast. So if I've stopped and I'm taking a break, I've had folks stop and ask me like, "Is this your first time? Good for you being out
Yes,
here."
I can't
And
stand.
I'm like, "Baby, I'm a regular donor. I'm out here
I
all
know
the
you
time. As
trails.
a matter of fact, I'm out here in addition to the other preserves and state parks and other parks that we have in our area." So it used to first I was taken aback, clutching pearls, and I was, and just to keep it 100, I was a little insecure, so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have much to say to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Then it kind of grew to where I was ready to have a little attitude, like attitude was on 10. I'm ready. And I'm like, ugh. And that's when I would give a jab, give them a jab with some words like, duh, how often do you come out here? And then I'm just gonna tell you where I'm at now. I can't let anybody take me away from my peace when I'm outside now.
That's right.
Um, I have generalized anxiety disorder, i.e., one of the many random, I won't say random, but one of the many anxiety disorders that
Mm-hmm.
a practitioner has told me that I had about 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when I'm anxious, and I know what the outdoors does for me. I know what movement in nature does for me. And so now when I see those people, especially if I'm in my element and in my groove, I
Mm-hmm.
just smile and I hit them with a yeah, I do this often. Matter of fact, check out Curvy by Nature. Now I'll just bring them to my movement
Yeah,
and
that's
ask them if
good.
they want to be supporters, if they want to be a part of it.
That's good.
Um, Earlier you said that outdoor experience being like a mental clarity and peace that happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel when I'm outside. And so for me, I can't let anybody take me out of that, even though there are still some ignoramuses
Yes, there are.
that will question and ask, or that try to qualify, what I and the amazing people that are part of this movement do in the
They're
outdoors.
capable of. And
Yeah, are
that
capable of
even
doing. Yeah.
reminds me of today. I went to my I've been looking for a studio to go to, but finally the studios out here are open, the yoga studios. And I went to a hot yoga today. And people like afterwards I was like putting my equipment away, my bolster away, and she goes, "Oh, is this your first time?" I was like, "No." And then what she said, "Oh, are you from America?" Yeah. She goes, "Oh, Google, I'm not talking to you." She was like, "Oh, is this your first time?" I was like, "No." And she goes, "How often do you practice?" I was like, "I'm actually a certified yoga teacher."
Bam,
I
bam,
was like, I know, like,
boom.
don't make assumptions because your adjustments were off today, ma'am. You should have did a little better.
Ooh,
But I didn't,
ooh, ooh,
I didn't do that.
ooh.
I didn't
Did
do
you need
that.
to help her? Did you need to get her in the right? Is that what you're saying? Her adjustment wasn't. Did she need some help?
Oh man, but
Ooh.
um, I just think it's very interesting, and society has told us that larger bodies are disabled bodies and not disabled, but not capable bodies. And I
Yeah.
think that I'm happy that you're doing what you're doing because there needs to be more representation of people who are doing what you're doing and showing that you can be whatever size and enjoy the outdoors. Because for one, being outdoors is like a sanctuary to the human body.
Mm.
We're supposed to go out there. Since I've been here, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but my friends laugh at me because I have plants now and I name my plants. My plants are my children. I don't care what you say.
Yes.
And I like found one day that the activity of like getting your hands and your body out in nature is in a practice called grounding. So it like releases, I think it has like negative ions in the dirt in the air that like detoxes like your body and your mental. It's just insane. So for people to like just think that um you can't like do XYZ because of what you look like, or even sometimes your skin tone, because they
Oh
still
yeah.
can't swim.
Oh yes. The outdoor industry has been a very white dominated industry, and it's especially a very white male industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, I can't.
And I
I'm
wanted to ask you
not
about
the
that.
one.
Why don't you think, because even male dominance, why do you think that men are the main faces of outdoor activity?
I think that's just another stereotype that is just carried on
Mm-hmm.
within our society when we think about men being the ones outdoors. Even if I think about them being the hunter gatherers, and they're the ones that go out in the wilderness, or they're the ones that go do these trips in the outdoors, and just thinking about hunting and the sport of hunting, which I don't appreciate. But anyway, hunting, the sport of hunting.
Yeah.
I just think that it's always been a space that's been very masculine.
Mm-hmm.
And just when I think about the way, just the different roles in the masculine roles in our society, that says this is what men do. And I'm just thinking, men, there's so many layers to this, as you already know,
Yeah.
But when I think about men, it's just been a space that's been for men, and that boys get dirty and men get dirty and they go outdoors and they rough it, and this is fun, and this is what they're expected to do. And then even when I think about it being white men, I mean, when we think about white people in this country, the country of the USA at least, the outdoor space has been their space. It
Mm-hmm.
has been their space that after the pillaging and stealing and raping and renaming of land that belonged to other indigenous folks. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, not other, excuse me, indigenous folks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just the way that our outdoors has been treated, and I feel that it's been held captive for so long from so many people. Even the outdoor space, it hasn't been a space that's been very welcoming to Black people. For the longest. And so when I think about the people that set up our society, the people that kind of set the initial conditions and the foundation, well, there's still that systemic racism in the outdoor world. That's still there, because we have a lot, not all, but a lot of the same mentalities that are running these organizations, that's kind of shaping the outdoor industry, and that can say this is the face of the outdoors. I have seen a shift. I've seen with REI partnering with Outdoor Afro, just I can
What's
see the
outdoor
shift.
Afro?
Oh, Outdoor Afro is the largest nonprofit organization that's dedicated to connecting African Americans or Black people to nature. It's where they meet nature. And so when I joined Outdoor Afro some years ago, when I was first looking for groups, and they host a lot of different outdoor activities and different outdoor groups.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. Started by Rumap, an amazing outdoor adventurous champion. Just, she's amazing. Check
Right.
her out. They've also like summited some mountains. I think that they have hiked Kilimanjaro. Yeah. And so I've seen, and looking at Outdoor Afro, there's another organization called Woe Travel that has a plus component. I've seen myself in pieces of different organizations and movements, and it helped inspire me to put all of it together with Curvy by Nature. Because even going to some other groups, I found that they might be welcoming, but nobody else is 300 pounds and trying to make it up this, and no one else has to think about, will this equipment fit me?
Mm-hmm.
Will this cord, is the weight limit like good with this cord, you know? And
Yeah.
so anyway, I'll keep going, girl. I'll keep going. But these other amazing organizations with
Mhm.
amazing missions that are doing great work in the outdoor space, and they're doing work to diversify the outdoor space. I have been taking little nuggets from watching their movements and seeing how I can incorporate it into Curvy by Nature. But the original question was about it being a very white male space.
Mhm.
And I think it has been, because a lot of our spaces have been very white and male for a long time. And that's over, and that's changing.
You said it's over.
Well, I shouldn't say that's over. Wait, in my mind, I'm like,
No,
see,
you can say
sometimes,
it's over.
yeah, I was like, in my mind, I'm like, it ain't all the way over, but in my mind, I'm like, it's over. That's over, because
No,
it's
that's
changing.
over. No,
Because it's changing.
it's
Yeah,
changing. Don't take that back at
I
all.
can say it's over. Yeah, it's
Don't.
over.
And you're fine. Don't feel like you're rambling. You are just dropping dimes all over the place. You're doing good. So other than what did you say was Afro outdoors?
Outdoor Afro,
Outdoor
yeah,
Afro.
outdoor
Who else
Afro.
who else have you been like, I guess, paying attention to as far as like
Um,
representation?
Definitely that Woe Travel. Woe
Mm-hmm.
Travel is an organization. It was founded by a few women. I think it was two or three. They were like they're friends, and they
Wow.
got together and wanted to have an adventure company for women. I thought was really cool, and they have a plus division. They have a plus division, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
where it's all curvy women that get together, and you go hike Kilimanjaro, you hike Machu Picchu. Like, they have these huge hiking trips, and so I'm working my way up there. I'm working my way up there because that elevation,
It gets you. It will get you. I'm
the
sure you had
elevation
a
ain't no
piece of it
joke.
in Denver. I'm sure you had a little bit of piece of it in Denver.
Just a little piece,
Yeah.
a little. All I get is, as my daddy would say, a little ski taste, just a little ski taste of it.
Because
Because yeah, that elevation. I got to work my way to go to one of their trips though, but I'll be there.
okay, because I haven't even I've thought about Machu Picchu, but I never thought about hiking it because I know the site itself is pretty high up and it's elevated itself. So hiking it, I can now. I did hike the Great Wall of China.
Come
Um,
on.
that was an experience. Somebody next to me, she threw up. So yeah, but she didn't eat, but she still threw up. It was quite an experience. But when we got there, when I tell you, I took 2 pictures and I was ready to go. Okay. I was like, let's go. Let's go. Y'all told me we were taking a cart up this mountain. I didn't know we were going to be walking it, but
Somebody done told you wrong.
a lie, a full lie. Oh
Lies,
my
all the
gosh.
lies.
So I watched one of your yoga sessions, right?
Okay.
The one I think is your most recent one. You had on the all red sweatsuit.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you said one thing that I heard you say was I wrote it down. You
Uh
said
oh.
leave it
Say
on
my
the
word.
mat.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Said that.
That was me. Mm-hmm.
So if you had to, so for one, explain what leave it on the mat means, but also tell me what would be like the equivalent of leave it on the mat for someone who goes outdoors, because not a lot of people see the value in it. So
Okay. So leaving on the mat just means, I think, well, when I think about yoga and when I tell my participants to leave it on the mat, the things that you might be stressing about, the things that occupy your mind in that space where it looks like everyone else is in this beautiful tree pose and maybe your mind is wandering. When I'm saying leave it on the mat, I mean leave that the thoughts, the if there are insecurities, if there are other issues that are waiting for you, just leave all that junk there. Almost, I like to imagine that as I sweat throughout yoga, throughout my yoga session, all of that I'm shedding and I'm sweating out all of the yuck and the guck and the mess and the stress that's been bothering me, and I just leave it there. It's a nice space where I can take it off and I'm like, I can just leave it there for right now. I'm gonna walk away from it and start the rest of my day. And that session in particular is one that I call sunrise yoga, although the sun is already up. The sun is just about up by the time we start, but it's early in the morning.
This morning.
And if anybody's like me, but when I wake up, my mind is already full of all the other things I need to do for that day, or that I didn't do, or whatever I took to bed with me that night. So when I practice in the morning, leaving it on the mat is pretty important so I can start the rest of my day. And when it comes to being outdoors, the equivalent to leaving it on the mat or leaving it out in nature, is to take a moment to pause and do the same shedding, like the same shedding. And when I say pause, so I have some friends that love the outdoors for workout purposes only. They're like, no, Brianna, I'm not going to sit out in the middle of the yard just because and talk to the birds. Like that's me. And sometimes I'll go to the trail simply because I want to be there and not for a fitness, perspective reason. So if you are going for fitness reasons, which is absolutely great, I just encourage you to pause at some point. Pause at some point when you're on that trail, when you're out there in nature, and just take a mental snapshot of what's going on around you. And that can be your space where you start to shed or leave on the mat all of the yuck and gunk and mess and the stress that you carried with you outdoors. And it might look like you speaking it out loud. It might look like you saying, you know what, I've been stressed about my kids this week. I've been stressed about that boy. He has lost his mind. I think he wants me to knock him out. I'm going to leave it right here. It might look like you speaking it out. It might look like you turning your music off for about half of your time out there and really connecting and just listening to the words. I found this I went to Eagle Mountain Park, which is also a lake in Fort Worth, Texas, and went there Friday morning. And I started with my music in my ear, and then I just decided to stop. I turned it off. I was like, no music today.
Yeah.
I'm only going to listen to what's happening outdoors. Also, there's wildlife out there, so it is pretty good to listen. So you don't run up on some animals.
Okay.
You don't want to run up on some animals that work. You scare them, they scare you, then y'all both scared. So I was like, I should probably pay attention. It's a lot of deer out here. I'm gonna pay attention. And so, it may look like leaving it out there with just connecting with what's going on, listening for the sounds. And that takes your mind to another place. Will it happen each time? It might. It's up to you. It's up to the person. And that leaving it all is going to look different each person also.
Okay. Now, when you come back home from being outdoors, do you feel like you smell like outside?
Oh, straight outdoors. Not even outside. I smell like outdoors. Outdoors. Y'all know that smell. Now bring it with me. And then I like to do stuff like run errands right after I've done my stuff outdoors. I know people be like,
my visor real low because I know I was funky, and you don't notice me right now because I look
funky. Yes,
but
the funk be real.
Yes, it gets really real. So wow, you've been really great. So another question is, so I have what do you call it? I have hiking sticks. So tell me, what are they for? I know what they're for, but like, can you explain it to me?
Yeah, your hiking poles are to help you when you're going on some very rocky or some very rough terrain. You can get really for under $25, you can get a pair from Walmart. I think Walmart carries the outdoor brand, but they can adjust for your height. They're also really good if you are a little unstable. Is it unstable? Look at that. I swear I went to school, y'all.
Hang on one second. Hang on. I gotta do something.
Okay. So hold on. I'ma hold on.
I'm sorry. My mom she's downstairs vacuuming, and when she vacuums, she likes to start playing Return of the Mac on repeat. So I had to stop that.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I was like, Ma, she was like, what is wrong? I was like, just stop with the vacuum cleaner.
Return of the, okay.
Please. Because she plays it on loop. She plays it on repeat.
Is that her? That's her cleanup song. You said not right now.
Not right now.
You said not today.
Girl, every weekend, returning the Mac for at least 2 hours. At least 2 on repeat. And I'm like, what are you trying to tell me something? Because you are a married woman. Stop. Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to understand, why is the return of the Mac what keeps happening?
Thank you. Like, play some Donnie McClurkin. Something.
No. She said she's got air. Turn up. See, now it's gonna be stuck in my head.
You're welcome. You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Oh man. Where were we? Okay. Geez, what did I just ask you?
What did you just ask me?
We're talking about hiking sticks.
Oh, the sticks. You asked me what they were for.
Yes. You were
right.
They're great from rocky surfaces to keep your balance.
Yeah. When you're out in the rocky surfaces, if the terrain is a little rough, it can help you. They're really good when you're going up an incline, and gives you another, piece of support.
Yes. Now, do you think that now I've had to explain this to people as an expert, do you think that it means that you are like less capable or you're not able to do it if you use a hiking stick?
No, I think it means that you're smart. No, I just do. I think it's with anything when I think that we get caught up. And there are some people that don't need it. Now when I go out to Cedar Ridge, I can hike any trail out there at Cedar Ridge Preserve and not use my sticks. I've gone to Eagle Mountain Lake enough times. Well, there's only a few places where I would think I would need them anyway. But I've gone out there enough and I'm comfortable and my ability has gotten better. I've improved. So I don't need it there. But there's a little trail and where is this at Sampson Park, at Marion Sampson Park in Fort Worth. That trail is called the Lone Wolf Trail. I started on it, almost slipped the dude, did the scoop the dude, almost slipped.
Okay.
And I said, oh, okay, next time I'll bring my little poles. Oh, okay, I wasn't ready. So no, I don't think it means, there are plenty of people that have this outdoor elitist attitude that might scoff and might be like, why do you need that? You don't actually need it. Whatever, bump those people, changing the narrative. If you need hiking sticks or hiking poles, you better take them with you. Yep. I would rather see someone be able to complete it safely and feel comfortable enough to complete it safely than to someone to try it without. Because you don't want to look like, oh, I need some help. You're going to need some help when you twist that ankle.
That's right. That's very true.
Hello, world.
True. And I've learned that too, like even with yoga, that's my activity, but the blocks, I used to feel like, oh, I don't want to use the blocks because, it looks like I can't do. No. For one, sometimes I need the length and sometimes I need the space. So whenever I go or I'm at home, I have my blocks with me. And no shame about it. It doesn't mean I'm doing it any less or anything like that. It just means that I'm using the blocks today for safety precaution and because I'm keeping it real with my body. And I think that to me, that's another form of being positive about your body, understanding that you don't have to make it uncomfortable to do what you wanted to do.
Oh, yes. Soundbite.
Okay.
You don't have to be uncomfortable to do what you want to do. Yes. I should have been taking notes so that I can add all these to my little website later. Let me get my pen and
oh my God, Bree.
You think I'm playing? I'll put hyphen Tiara Burns.
Yes, please. Just quote me. That's cool.
I'll quote you.
Just quote me. That was cool. So today in 2020 has been 5 years long. And I just wanted to know, if you don't know, the podcast is about keeping your sanity in an era of staying woke. So like learning information and like keeping your sanity. Sometimes people can't do both because anxiety. But I
Woo!
want to know, how are you balancing your sanity these days?
Going outside, in all honesty. And I looked over here because that's where my window is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Honestly, going outside and spending time in nature away from people.
Mm-hmm. You said away from
Yeah,
people.
away from people in nature. So, meaning, so for me, when I say go outside, it may look like literally sitting in the middle of the backyard for about 10 or 15 minutes by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the only beings I'm okay with when I'm in that space are animals. So like the birds, little insects, my dog, I'm cool.
English, yeah.
But I'm also I'm pretty like almost 70% an introvert, and so I really recharge when I'm by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love doing things outdoors with other people, and I love leading the hikes and different things. But like the other day, I needed to be outside just to recharge by myself. I work in a very white space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I and I work in a conservative space. I live in a conservative county. I all of these different things that I'm just throwing out here, which would, I'm sure maybe a listener's like, what is that? Well, then what does that mean? But why does that affect it? All these things I'm saying affect my anxiety day
No,
throughout the week.
you're fine.
And then also just, you know, 2020 has been crazy. I lost a cousin. I lost a first cousin throughout this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
His custody when I lost that cousin.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lot of different things, a lot of familial challenges this year, professional challenges, a lot of different things, all this stuff that impacts me. And I can only remain sane when I go outside. And I have noticed about myself that when I am in a very low space, when I am feeling very anxious,
Mm-hmm.
um, or when I don't like to lightly use the word depression or say depressed, but when I am in a space where I'm just feeling very low and very down and I don't want to go outside,
My therapy calls it like you're a depressive mood. My therapist says it's a
that's
depressive mood.
it.
Yeah.
My depressive mood, yeah. When I'm there, I don't want to go outside. I don't want to get sun. I do things to avoid the outdoors. So when I see myself heading there, and whenever I get the feeling of I don't want to go outside, I don't want to be out there, then I know, you're not balancing, or not. There's not a rhythm going. I don't have a good rhythm going with my life. So yeah, I balance being sane by getting outdoors and getting away from people, even if it's just taking my coffee or my lunch, my breakfast, my drink, or my drink, whichever one, whether it's my drink or my drink.
Yeah. I've had
I
both.
gotta spend some time outside, and so yeah, it I don't, it does something to me. The sun, the clouds, the grass, it does something
That
to me.
vitamin D, girl.
Girl, I'm telling you.
You just like, yes, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Well, so that is actually it. Is tell the people how they can find you.
You can find me at iambreewilliams.com
Mm-hmm.
/ Curvy by Nature. That'll take you directly to the Curvy by Nature page. I'm on Facebook and on Instagram at Curvy by Nature. That's CURVYX Nature. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Either one of those. And then Bree Williams on everything else. Bree Williams on Facebook, Bree Williams on Instagram, iambreewilliams.com. You know, if you can remember Bree Williams and Curvy by Nature, you'll find me, baby.
Okay. And where do you want to see Curvy by Nature next year?
Next year,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, Curvy by Nature will be the premier uh, outdoor recreation nonprofit. It will be. That's what I'm saying. Where do I want to see Curvy by Nature? I have all these things where I want to see it. I thought you were going to tell me 5 years, so I had this long 5-year plan out.
Okay, shoot.
But
I usually do 5 years,
here we
but
go.
1 year is always more interesting. So tell me about 5 years.
1 year is more interesting, so let's just stick with 1 year. We'll stick there.
Okay.
But I see it. I see a year from now, the 501c3 will have been up and running for several months at that
Mhm.
time. A year from now, we're getting ready to go on our first Curvy by Nature retreat. Yeah, our first Curvy by Nature retreat,
Okay.
which is an exclusive offer for women. Here's the thing, I do want to, I know I've mentioned a lot, you've heard me talk about Curvy by Nature being a movement for diversifying the outdoor space. I've talked a lot about being plus size and being curvy. I create that space so that other people with bigger bodies will feel comfortable, but I welcome all supporters of all bodies into Curvy by Nature. And I want to say that because the retreat is something that is for all of my supporters. So anyway, there'll be an amazing retreat that'll combine yoga and mindfulness and meditation and an adventurous hike with a campfire at the very end. And so that's where Curvy by Nature will be
I love
next
a
year,
good
and hosting
campfire.
this beautiful exclusive experience for 10 very, very lucky people.
Oh, just 10 people.
Just 10, just
Okay.
10.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. You
Yeah,
hang out.
first group is just 10.
Okay. Well, Bree, thank you.